And welcome to Fox 13 Unscripted here in Studio B. Those who have watched me over the years know I'm a big racing fan. So I'm excited to have from KartForKids.org here, Chris Russick. How are you? Great to see you.
I'm great. It's a pleasure to be here.
So glad to have you with us. We here at Fox 13 are so excited that we are kind of the new official media partners for the IndyCar race this year, the Grand Prix. And I'm so excited. I know you are.
We are very excited as well. Yeah, absolutely. We're glad to see IndyCar come over to match the other motorsports on Fox.
You know, we're going to talk a little bit about your history too, because I know you've been around a long time, like I have. Pretty much grew up here,
yeah.
For sure. And I had a rare experience. I think I told you this before, but I was lucky enough to do the two-seat ride with Mario. It was in 2015. And it was funny because when they said we were going to start the race, I didn't quite really know what it was, and I had forgotten. I'm a NASCAR fan, and I was just so used to the green flag start.
Sure.
I didn't realize the hot start that they have. So anyway, we do the hot start, actually start the race. It was a great time. But what I remember most about that, you know what it was? It was when we got out of the car and I had the best time with him. And the way I started interviewing, the way he started gushing about St. Pete and the Grand Prix. And he said, this is our Monte Carlo. This is it.
That's right.
And at that moment, because we take St. Pete for granted, a lot of us do.
And we shouldn't.
We should not, absolutely.
That's
and
right.
And over the years since then, I mean, that's been about 10 years. But to think now, I mean, it was great right out of the gate. But this is a premier race. The city is incredible. It's quite a show-off event for the entire area.
And it's the kickoff event for IndyCar. So it's fantastic. And the folks at Green Savory, they just do such a great job putting on that race. And they're big supporters of really everything around the race, which is nice. So it's good to have them around. It's good to have the race here in town. And Mario, he's amazing. So a dirty secret is he donates his time to Kart for Kids, and we have an auction, and you can ride with Mario in a Porsche.
That's unbelievable.
It is.
You guys have a couple events coming up. We're going to talk about those, so stay tuned for that because it's going to be the Wednesday before the race. That's February 26th, right?
February 26th.
All right, we're going to have more details on that. We got a Harley Davidson you can
Harley.
win.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Let's talk first about Kart for Kids, though,
Sure
and
thing.
the race. Tell us I know we've been out there before to cover some of it.
Yes.
We're going to be out there this year again. For those who are not aware, what do you guys do? I know you can race, but you can also just come and watch race, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Anybody can come and race. It's at T4 Kartplex is called now. It used to be, for those that are in the racing scene, it's the old Anderson Race Park.
Yeah.
We have some new surprises this year. The direction of the track is going to change, and the direction of the track's going to change. We got a couple other surprises with some new karts, and anybody can come watch. And it's a fun time, and it's a pro-am. So golf has their professionals and amateurs that race that play golf together. We do the same thing with our heroes.
Now tell us about the hot start. That's always fun.
The hot start. It's a tip of the hat to Le Mans, which is where Sebastian Bourdais is from. Yeah. And so the professional drivers, they start on the opposite side of the track and they run across the track, hop in to the hot go-karts that are running, and they start.
Yeah, and you draw straws for that first position?
No, they have to qualify for
Yeah,
it, and it's gotten more and more heated over the years.
I'm sure. Well, the great thing about karting too is that there are not a ton of sports where people can really feel like we can get in and do something, because you look at golf, you look at baseball and football. I mean, but at least karting, you can get in there, you can just pretend who you are.
That's right.
You can be moving, you can steer, and you can think you're a good breaker. You can think you're a handle quarter as well.
That's exactly it.
But it really puts you in there, and it makes you give you that feeling.
Well, we can get out there and we can practice. You can go to any karting track in the area and at least get some seat time, so that if you did want to sponsor a team and come out and race with us, then you certainly could, and you could go out and you could practice and have fun with us.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about where that money goes, which is really amazing.
Absolutely.
All Children's Hospital and this incredible concussion research they've been doing. And what is the number I hear? Almost $2 million.
Almost $2 million. We will cross the mark this year.
That's absolutely incredible for some
Absolutely.
karting. Now, I know you've been around a long time, and you've got racing in your blood as well. May not be on the asphalt, though.
I tried a little bit. It's not as much. I grew up racing sailboats.
Yeah.
And one of our co-founders, we have two founders, David Bassett and Paige Obenchain. And they started this charity, and I got involved a couple years later after I got into go-kart and car racing and racing some autocross and some things like that. So I went from slower racing to faster racing.
But that competition, it never leaves you. And how long have you been doing this now for Kart for Kids?
Oh gosh, I knew you were going to ask that, and I think I'm on 8th year out of 14.
Yeah.
So.
If somebody told you, I mean, I know you got some incredible memories over the years because you do have a lot of drivers come out participate,
We do.
And you have a lot of fans come out, but you also have a lot of kids. And I know in the auctions, we've seen the pictures. We're going to talk about some auction stuff too, which is really neat. But you guys have all children's involved. You have kids come out. That really puts it all into focus for you, doesn't it?
It really does. And there was 2 special moments, 2 years that we did race on track at the St. Pete Grand Prix, and those were tremendously special years. We're not there now for some logistical reasons. We might get back one year. I'd love to get back on track in corner 1. We'll see what happens in the future years, but it's special. There's no way to describe it otherwise. You just have to see it.
And right out of the gate, you guys have been supporting All Children's First since day one, right?
We have.
Tell me how that came about.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate circumstance. Dan Weldon, who was an IndyCar driver, twice won the Indy 500 as St. Pete resident. He had passed tragically, and he was a supporter of Johns Hopkins. So Dave Bassett and Paige got together over coffee one day and said, hey, this guy was great, and he's part of our community. How do we memorialize him, Susie, and the kids? And really give back. And they literally sat at a Starbucks and figured it out, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and they raced with you guys for a while, right? Didn't they?
They still do.
They still do.
Absolutely. Dave and I, we were on the Kart for Kids team, concussion team last year. We got second.
Yeah.
So
had the pleasure of having Dan into the studio. It's probably been about 15 years. But what a special human he was.
He's a great guy.
Well, hopefully we've learned something since that, for
Absolutely.
sure. And that's what we can all hope is to make something good out of this. And it's neat to hear that he was involved so early on.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's pretty magical in that respect.
And didn't I hear the boys they're both going to be pursuing racing careers, right?
They are. In fact, you had them on screen here a couple of minutes ago. One of their pictures, they raced with us last year.
Yeah.
So the boys and Susie came back, and I believe Sebastian is signed with Andretti. So he's got a bright future.
Right. It's so exciting. Okay. So when somebody is watching this and says, all right, I haven't put myself in the seat in a while. I want to come give it a shot. Sure. Can you come out individually? Do you have to put a team together? How does that work?
The team is the easiest way, but it's not the only way.
Okay.
We do have single driver spots that fill up last. So if all of the teams are filled, but somebody only has 4 out of 5 drivers, you can buy a seat on a team just like a racing driver does in real life.
Okay.
So we do offer that.
So that's going to be February 26th, kartforkids.org. That's how you go buy tickets, right?
Correct.
And then you're going to have an auction. You'll have events as well throughout the rest of the day or in the afternoon.
That's exactly it. We've got one of the largest motorsport auctions in the world. All the drivers, they come and they bring their own memorabilia. They sign it right there on the spot. We take pictures with them and we put it online.
Yeah. I can't ask you for a favorite memory out there because I'm sure you have several every year. But what do you take home when all is said and done year after year?
Geez. Yeah. I mean, I have some fantastic memory. One of my favorite memories, or 2 of my favorite memories, one going back to Mario Andretti. We had a situation on track 2 years ago, and we had to have an ambulance come on track, not for our event, but they needed to get into the infield. And so it was eating up time on the track. And I go over and I say, Mr. Andretti, I'm sorry, we never would have thought this would have happened. And he was so nice about it. He says, don't worry, this is for charity. You've got as much time as you need. And to know he had such a caring heart to give as much time as he already did, and to be able to, say, hey, we're going to roll with it. Life happens. That was pretty special. And then last year, a couple of us, we've got a world champion here in town that races on the team. He and one of the concussion patients, who's also a go-kart racer, we got on track with Sebastian and Rob Howden, who's the voice of IndyCar, and we got to just tear it up for a day at Anderson Race Park, and that I will never forget.
I bet.
It was fun.
What a special day. Some great laps, I'm sure, too.
Yeah, I saw some of the pictures go by.
I'm sure you did. All right, we're going to talk about Sebastian Bourdais' suit that you can purchase in the auction. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. We've got Patrick Mulroney from All Children's coming up next. Sit tight. We have much more. We're talking about Grand Prix, talking about Kart for Kids, all kinds of fun. Don't move. We'll be right back. And Welcome back to Fox 13 Unscripted. We are excited here at Fox 13 to be the official media network this year of the IndyCar race in St. Pete, which I know you're involved with. Welcome back, Dr. Patrick Mulroney from Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. I know you've been here many times, but we appreciate you coming back.
Great to see you.
Yeah, great to see you too. You're a racing fan too, I know, over the years.
Of course. You know, I live in St. Petersburg, so it's always, I can just even remember with my kids when they were toddlers, opening up the doors of the house and listening to the engines, you know, as they would fire up in the morning. It's such a great time for the city.
It is so neat, and we've had some great events. We've had many Super Bowls over the years, and of course we've haven't hosted the World Series yet. I've had a couple of other major events, but there's something special about that Grand Prix downtown when that city really comes to life like that. It is pretty neat.
And they run through the city, so it's like it's all you're eating dinner literally next to the track, and you're seeing them run on places that you're familiar with.
No, it is a lot of fun. You guys at Johns Hopkins All Children's are doing really incredible stuff. You are the only pediatric sports unit that's dedicated to some concussion research and a lot of that for our youngsters in the Tampa Bay area. What are we learning these days about kids and concussions that we didn't know 10 years ago?
Well, so much. I mean, things have, first of all, the education on concussion has been immense, right? Initially, we thought we needed to teach the coaches and teach the parents what to look for, but it's really the kids that are coming in reporting their own concussion, moving in that direction. In the past, it was, if you get a concussion, go sit in a dark room, do nothing. And now we've moved towards, light physical activity, getting kids back to school faster is actually helping them to respond. And all of that is transpired over the last 15 years.
Isn't that interesting? And you guys are involved mainly kind of through Karts for Kids, and you guys are partnered with IndyCar now, right? Tell me how that works.
So right now we are partnered with IndyCar with looking at their in-car data and looking at some of the concussion metrics associated with drivers. So Dr. Terry Trammell, who's a Hall of Fame physician who's basically led most of the safety associated with IndyCar, and his team is working with us. We're looking at data on crashes, on the G's that athletes are taking, and then looking at some of the post-injury data associated with concussion, eye movement, and seeing what we can correlate with that, how best to look at it. I've got a team of people that I work with, Dr. Danielle Ransom and Luis Ahumada, who, machine learning and neuropsychology, who we really are sifting through this, trying to make car racing safer.
So you're getting data after every race and evaluating it for them.
Yeah, well, it's after every season, but it's the data from the entire season. Yeah,
that's incredible.
Number of G's taken, and then that data is coming from the cars and is coming from earpieces that the drivers are wearing during the crash, so you can actually see what's happening to the body, what's happening to the car. In each of those crashes.
Because that's been the hard part over the years, right? Is measuring the impact and what it's doing to our bodies. Right. Whereas in the past, we've only been able to say, well, you got hit and then you can't do this now. But those devices are actually measuring what? How would an earpiece work?
The earpieces have data collectors in them, so they're measuring the number of G's, the direction of the G's, how the athlete is spinning or moving after a crash, and correlating that to what the chassis is feeling. And the strides that IndyCar has made and car racing has made in the safety for these athletes is unbelievable.
That really is amazing. And back to our kids then, what are you seeing on, not necessarily local level, but all over, in terms of how we've evolved here in the last couple of years and applying this new research that you guys have? Because I remember, wasn't that long ago, we started changing, they put out new guidelines for some of the Pee-wee kids for how often they hit, how often they can practice. But how are we starting to see this research kind of put in motion in effect?
Well, a lot of the research that we do could not be done without Kart for Kids. They fund our research lab and pay for our research coordinator. And now what we're doing with these athletes, and looking at them, we're exploring wearable technology, looking at how they react after a concussion. We are looking at evaluation tools on how their eyes move and what their balance is like after a concussion. And then the neat thing about our lab is, we've got a lot of years of experience and a very large number of patients that have come through. So we're looking at retrospective data to kind of try and discern which kids might take longer to respond from concussion, which type of hits are more important, or what complaints that they might have when they walk in the door may help us to guide them in a different direction as they're attempting to recover from concussion.
That is so amazing. And to think that a nonprofit and folks who love racing are supporting so much of that, it's got to make you guys feel great.
Yeah, it's this organization is so cool, and the event is so cool because, the community is giving back, but it's the drivers that are giving back as well. You go to this event, there are young IndyCar drivers and there are junior drivers, and they're all involved in this and giving their time during a very busy week to back to an organization like this. And it's so much fun because, you're rubbing elbows with the famous people in the industry.
Yeah. You been out there? You ever been able to race yourself?
Oh yeah, I'm terrible. I am not. I drove here safely, but when you put me on a track, like I think I'm going fast, but I'm not. And just different parts of my body hurt. I work out, but you drive a car, Kart, different parts of your body hurt after you do that.
Is it funny how it looks so easy?
It looks simple, and it is not at all. Yeah.
Yeah. A newfound appreciation for that. Well, we appreciate all the great work that you guys are doing over at the hospital, and it's really amazing. It's great to see that a lot of this money is going directly to to saving and changing lives, because that's what it's all about.
And that's something about Johns Hopkins All Children's. A lot of the care that we provide is homegrown. It's funded by the community, and we have such a wonderful community. We're so lucky to have St. Petersburg, and St. Petersburg is lucky to have the #1 children's hospital in the state of Florida.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Dr. Patrick Mulroney from Johns Hopkins All Children's, thanks so much. Good luck this year, and good luck with Kart for Kids.
Thanks for having me.
All right, don't move. We are back. We got a few more details. We got a Top Golf event, show you how you can win a Harley as well, and maybe some more racing swag. Don't move. Unscripted continues right after this. And welcome back. As you know, I kind of get geeked about this racing. We could talk about this for 2 hours.
It's all good.
I know. We are back with Chris Russick from Kart for Kids. For so many years, they have been raising so much money, nearly $2 million. We'll cross the $2 million threshold. Congratulations, by the way, this year.
It's our committee. It's not me. We've got a great group of team.
Well, it is amazing. So we've got a couple of events coming. Well, we got a little bit more racing video. I think we have the pictures that are coming up first. And if you haven't been out to one of these events, I've seen a lot of video. I'm ashamed to tell you that I haven't been out, but I promise you I'll be there this year. And I'm looking forward to it. But the energy here, you got drivers, it's an actual program. So there's a number of races too. So tell me how that works with the pros versus the amateurs.
Yeah, so the pros go out and qualify first, and they set the pace, and everybody gets amped up and is excited.
Shouldn't they go last?
It was funny you asked. They do go last. They
Okay,
finish,
there you go.
and it really brings home a strong finish.
Yeah.
And then the team owners, the guys that they're footing the bill for the team, they set the order in which they want their team members to race.
Okay.
And so the pros go out and qualify and start and show us how it's done. And then the amateurs come in and try and get it done and save it for the end so that the pros can bring it home.
Yeah. And watch those times. Well, something else is really cool this year. You guys had a Harley Davidson donated to you, right?
Yeah, one of our great sponsors just decided to come and bring a Harley Davidson to us and said, "Hey, can you raffle this off?"
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So, and
beautiful.
all you have to do, so do you have to be at the event to do this, or can you
No,
just buy tickets or
it's-
buy a raffle ticket?
We have 25,000 tickets.
Okay.
So it's a capped raffle, and so you can go buy as many tickets as you'd like. It's on our website,
Kartforkids.org.
.org, exactly. And so the first, so March 1st, after all of our events are over and we have a wrap-up party, we're going to draw the winning name and ticket number, and that person will receive a phone call.
That will be amazing. Those always do really well. So
They do.
I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun with that. So we've got the Harley, and now you also have another event coming up before then, right?
Yeah, it's new for us this year. So one of our committee members said, "Hey, not everybody's into racing, but everybody's into helping kids." So he wanted to put on a golf event, and as you said, so much is going on in our towns lately with the hurricanes. It was hard to get time on a course, so we partnered up with Top Golf, and we are going to have a virtual golf event at Top Golf, and so that's on the 13th of February,
Right.
And it's in the middle of the afternoon. It's it includes dinner and whatnot, and we're going to go out and try and raise some more money.
That'll be great. And then we've got the kids, Kart for Kids program on the 26th, which is the Wednesday before, because basically the Grand Prix, the whole weekend starts the next day, right? That's kind of the kickoff. So you guys actually kick it off.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're looking forward to that. A race will be on Fox 13 this year, which is kind of fun for us. And we're expecting, well, we know there's going to be a lot of interest, and I can't wait to see St. Pete shine again, and you guys as well. And before we go, you got all kinds of cool stuff you guys are going to have at the auction as well.
We do. This is Sebastian's suit from the Petit Le Mans when the Cadillac lost their headlights in the middle of the night, and we're finishing the race. And this is one of his helmets that he raced in Kart for Kids last year, and he signed that and donated it back to us. And so those will be in the auction, as well as many other items that drivers donate.
And for those who don't know, Sebastian Bourdais, of course, who still lives in St. Pete.
He does.
A two-time local race winner, right?
He's won twice, and he's also won the Kart series, which was before IndyCar. Yeah, he won that 4 years in a row.
Yeah, just amazing. And you're going to have other stuff from other drivers as well?
We will, absolutely. So we've got some items coming in from the IMSA race series.
Okay.
I've heard NASCAR stuff is coming in, and of course IndyCar. They always bring it. They are so philanthropic and helpful. Those drivers are amazing.
Can someone come if they want to just come participate and not race? How would that work?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Come and join, and there's a donation at the entry, and please come and donate and come watch. It's a great race to watch. I mean, the racing, especially watching the pros, is truly great, and watching the amateurs is always fun.
Because the amateurs think they could be pros.
We all do, don't you?
Well, not anymore. I did. There was a time. There was a time. Well, we appreciate you guys coming. I just can't say enough about Kart for Kids. I'm excited for you guys. Looking forward to a great year.
Kind.
And kartforkids.org if you missed it. It's going to be a great event. If you want to come out, make sure if you can participate in Top Golf, that'll be on the 13th. And then the pro-am, have fun with that. And then we're going to have a heck of a race, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So we're looking forward to it. And Fox, by the way, I shall say, we're going to carry the entire IndyCar season as well. So not just St. Pete, which is kind of cool.
That's great.
So it'd be neat. Yeah.
It's exciting.
Chris Rustick, thank you much for coming by.
Thank you so much.
Have a
It's
great
pleasure to be
event.
here.
We hope to be there with you. And thank you for tuning in. We hope to see you on TV. Take care.